Going to talk classic football shirts now because
you love this, don't you? Are you like in heaven now?
This is good. Wait till you see what we've got in the studio because they are some of the most recognisable moments in the game, aren't they? It's Diego Maradona's hand of God goal. We can't show you the footage because someone owns it, but there's a photograph from it. This is from the 1986 World Cup, Argentina against England. And after the match, Maradona swapped shirts with England's Steve Hodge, and now the shirt that Maradona wore has been put up for auction.
But owning a piece of sports memorabilia does not come cheap. The auction closes this afternoon. The shirt has already met the reserve price of £4 million.
Wowzers. Christian Allen from the National Football Museum and Doug Bierton, co-founder of Classic Football Shirts, joins us now. Hello, fellas. Lovely to see you in the show. We should say that this, Doug, talk to us about this shirt, because this shirt was actually worn by an Argentinian player in the same match.
So this is also from that match, yeah. It's a substitute shirt from that game. So it's exactly the same as the Maradona shirt. It's just number 17, not number 10. So it's probably worth £3.99 million less.
OK,
yes.
But it's still worth it. I'll just hold it up to the camera there, because the key thing is the badge. Tell us the story about this. Why? I mean, shirts from this era, they're popular anyway, but this kit in particular was pretty special, wasn't it?
Yeah, so obviously the tournament was in Mexico, boiling hot heat. Argentina played against Uruguay in these cotton shirts, and the manager said, it's too hot, we need a cooler shirt. So he sent his kit man around Mexico City into some sports shops. He came back with this blue shirt. He apparently showed Maradona. He had two options. He said, Maradona said, we'll beat England in that one. So the kit man stitched these badges onto it and applied the number on the back.
Which is actually glittery as well.
Well, the numbers were intended for American football.
No.
Rather than
for the camera.
So, I mean,
look at that.
If this kit man had never done that, the Maradona shirt would have probably been worn by a school team or a Sunday league team in Mexico. It was never intended to be Argentina's shirt for that game.
Christian, throw that in. Throw the fact, obviously, that it was one of the most famous incidents in world football ever, and that's probably why the Maradona shirt with the number 10 on the back, one of these, is worth such a ludicrous amount of money.
It's so unique, exactly, worn in one game alone, and as Doug says, yeah, the kit was from a local sports shop, so it's very hard to, it's not one that they wore throughout the tournament, it's not one that's easy to fake, I suppose, it's one that was just worn in that one-off game, and what a special game.
And Doug, I hesitate to ask this because I think you all know the answer to this, but what is the fascination with the shirts and the collecting of the shirts?
It's just that, pure nostalgia. It's that, like, physical piece from that memory, and everyone, the memories are so strong, so everyone's so passionate about the game. So to own that, like, physical memento is what everyone dreams about.
Have you ever washed that?
No.
What, not ever, ever, ever?
No. You don't wash the shirts.
I knew the answer. I had to ask it. I'm sure people were asking that at home. And we've got the pictures here, because, Christian, it was the Maradona shirt was actually in the National Football Museum, wasn't it, for a few years? So people have been able to see it. And now it's going to be sold. Might there be a chance that it will go back on display? Is it going to be hung on someone's wall somewhere?
We're incredibly grateful and have been really grateful that it's been on display for almost 20 years now. And it's been brilliant to allow access to visitors to see it during that time. What happens with it next, we're not sure. Now, as part of a museum, it's common for things to go off display, and hopefully some of those objects will come back on display through the new owners. But it's entirely up to whoever ends up getting the shirt, I suppose. And
when at the museum, when you've seen people come in and look at it and look at the exhibit, what reaction do people have?
Yeah, so we're lucky in the centre of Manchester, the National Football Museum. So we've had visitors from Napoli fans who treat Maradona as a god, and Argentinian fans, and obviously they sort of worship Maradona and this shirt. So it takes on a special resonance with those fans in particular, but generally it is part of the sort of key objects in the museum and our crown jewels, I suppose. So yeah, it's one of the key objects, and people always have an opinion on it, whether it's positive or negative.
I don't know if we can get a super close-up on the camera, but I'm going to... You can talk about the badge, but you can still see some of the cotton thread down the side of the badge, can't you?
Also, see that shirt there? That's the home shirt that they wore at the tournament with the new style badge. They actually didn't have any of the new style badge left, so they stitched the old badge on.
So that's still...
So you can...
Can I just say, This one needs a wash.
You could, if I hold that there, I don't know whether you can see that, but there's cotton from 1986. Some of it's I won't pull it, but some of it's come off the back. I mean, and it is that sort of real thin, low quality shirt.
You see the label, it says it's made in Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's just. It's something from a sports shop. Anyone could have owned that.
Talk us through some of the other shirts you bought in.
So I brought these in to kind of,
too.
obviously, nobody else has got Maradona shirt from it's worth £4 million at home. But there's some shirts that people at home may have that are worth a lot of money. So this is the Holland 88 shirt. If you think every shirt starts life in a sports shop at £30-40 back in the day, you could have bought this, and it now goes for around £1,000.
Really? So this is like the Marco van Basten Super Goal.
Marco van Basten, the volley. That's it's not Van Basten shirt from that game. But then this is a Germany shirt from 1990. Again, you could have bought this one. This would go for around £300 now. And people at home have probably got these in their wardrobes if they have.
And is there a very significant trade in them now?
Yeah, I mean, our business has been going for 16 years now. It gets bigger every year. Everybody's just, very passionate about football shirts.
What about a giant 2002 England shirt once worn by Sally Nugent? I mean, come on.
Got to be worth 50p.
That adds a lot of value to it. If it's
priceless.
Look at the size of that bad boy.
Has it got Walker number 10 on the back?
No, I can't quite remember why I've got it, but I'll keep it in a box somewhere. And you know what? One day I thought I would get a use for it. There you go.
Yeah. OK, why are none of these shirts signed? Would a signature make them more valuable?
To some people, yes, but it's kind of a bit of a different market. They sign memorabilia, and then there's like football shirts or match-worn shirts, which are a bit different market. It's each to their own, different.
But what if you've got a match shirt that's then been signed?
That's for some people. That is the ultimate. Like if you could have got Maradona to sign that shirt and authenticate it for you, then people would dream about that. But here you've got a very good sign.
Well, I interviewed George Best just a few months before he died, and he signed a vintage Manchester United shirt, which I haven't put up anywhere, and I'll probably give it away to charity at some stage later in life. But it's things like that, isn't it? As someone who loves football, that's why I love going to the National Football Museum, because you're walking through a bit of history, aren't you? And shirts are probably as popular now as they've ever been. Yeah,
exactly. Shirts make up a small part of our collection, but last year, along with classic football shirts, we had an exhibition all around the design of football shirts, and that's become a huge thing as well. So it's not just where the shirt was worn necessarily, it's the design and what that means to people and the memories that those shirts bring up, I suppose.
Do they have to be aesthetically lovely to look at?
I mean, a lot of them are Marmite, really.
Yeah.
So, certainly shirts from the 80s and 90s, some people absolutely love them, some people hate them. So that Dutch shirt, for example, a lot of the players at the time hated it and thought they looked like fish because it's kind of scaly.
Well, there have been some awful shirts over the years. When my brother-in-law got married to my sister, she said, "I'll only marry you if you get rid of your..." You remember the fluorescent yellow Borussia Dortmund shirt? Yeah. He had to get rid of that. So that was one of the deals.
Harsh.
Yeah.
It's really harsh.
You want to marry her? You want to marry into the family? You got to get rid of the shirt. Thank you very much, and thank you so much for bringing all these in as well.
Yeah.
I feel that's a proper bit of sporting history there.
Yeah, I'll have to keep it on safe. See what the Maradona shirt sells for.
Absolutely. Thank you both. Thank you.
And thanks for all your pictures that you've been sending in, which we'll show a little bit later on in the morning.
Do stay with us. The headlines are coming right up.